The map is Neoplanet S. Innovation saying GL yo to Jaedong. And Jaedong saying GG.
And there was one fan saying, "Let's go, Jaedong."
He's the excited one.
I think it was Jaedong because I couldn't hear well because you know, there's a little scrub with the sound right now. I'm trying to fidget around, trying to hear if I can hear the fans well. But hey,
don't worry about it.
There's one enthusiastic fan out there watching Pro League.
I guess so. Player introductions real quick for you guys. Innovation in the bottom left as the Red Terran, and Jaedong as the Blue Protoss, not Protoss, Zerg, in the top right. So normally we get around to those, but there is too much other action going on early on.
Now, in StarCraft 1, Jaedong leads 2-1 against Innovation. Well, I should say bogus, because he was a different person back then.
Yeah, they were actually different people.
They're actually different people, let's put it that way. Yeah. And when it comes to StarCraft 2, Jaedong does have a win against Innovation on Entombed Valley, 2012, July 24th. So that was back in hybrid Pro League days, and you could also say that was back when Innovation was bogus.
That's true. He was still bogus back then. His play was just bogus. Just like the flashing on that screen there, that's just bogus, guys.
Oh, yeah.
We can't do anything about that, unfortunately.
We do apologize for these little hiccups here and there, but
we'll do our best to joke about it.
You just gotta skate.
Oh, God. I can't believe you brought that up.
Well, Jaedong, he loves to go for the 15 hatch. Innovation loves to go for the command center first. Yeah. And they're going to do it right away.
Yeah. Of course, 15 hatch pretty standard in this matchup. Almost all Zergs will do it every game here. And Innovation, he loves that CC first, like you mentioned, so no surprise that he's opening up with that there. Jaedong scouting it out as well, so he's got to be happy about seeing that.
At least he knows that there's not going to be any proxy racks coming his way to counter the 15 hatch that he always does. And I have to say, in 90% of his matchups.
I would agree. But he makes it look like you can't punish his CC first, man. He's just like, I don't care if you see. I don't care if you see 5 CCs in my base. You're not going to be able to kill me with an all-in, man.
Actually, in Pro League, because I'm not too sure about the foreign leagues, but inside Pro League, Innovation was one of the first players who decides to go for the command center at the ramp instead of putting it down at the natural if he decides to go for the command center first. And it's a fantastic build because it denies all the early Zergling pressure from his opponent, and all Innovation has to do is wait for the Marines to come out, surround with the SCVs, and he still has the second command center up. So it's a really solid build by Innovation.
All right, looks like this SCV going to get a lot of good information here. He scouts the gas, he scouts the pool, so he's going to know that there are potentially early speedlings coming his way early on in the game, or at the very least a faster layer.
Yeah, all he has to do is a scout to see it. There's no more gas being mined from the geyser, and Innovation exactly knows Jaedong is going to start with a speed Zerglings.
Yeah. All right, we've got a Marine on the way here. That orbital command almost finished up. We're going to have a factory follow-up here. Pretty darn common from Terran players. Get Zerg if they open up with that CC first. They get down that barracks. If they grab the gas afterwards, they're going to go into that fast factory.
Yeah, we've seen a variation of the Terran openings when they went for the CC first. Back in Wings of Liberty, it was a combination of barracks into factory. Some players decided to go for the double barracks to get as many Marines out early in the game. But in Heart of the Swarm, just going for the factory is more popular. You can get the Widow Mines out much faster. And, you know, back in Wings of Liberty, those units did not exist. They always went for the bio, so it was better for them to get the Marines out early in the game than going for the higher tech units.
All right, it looks like we're going to see a third expansion go down for Jaedong here. He's got his drone just kind of chilling there waiting, but we'll get that up momentarily here. Zerglings popping in the front door, seeing what's going on. They're going to go ahead and get out of there. Innovation going to complete that wall off at his natural, those supply depots. And the Zergling speed has finished.
Third command center out on the way for Innovation, so he's playing as standard as possible today in this TBC matchup against Jaedong.
Yep, getting the third command center pretty common here. We're going to probably see a few Hellbats, or not Hellbats, Hellions come out from this Terran player here. Not going to go ahead and get a faster starport. He's opting to go for the command center instead. Also getting that earlier stim making a Marauder as well, just in case his opponent goes for those roaches.
Yeah, it's a fantastic play by Innovation because all these players, especially against Innovation, going for the roaches seems standard. Just putting down the roach horn is not a huge investment, and if your opponent actually goes for the Hellbat drops, then hey, you got some units to defend against the Hellbats.
Yep. All right, well, the Evolution Chamber is finishing up here for Jaedong. He's going to probably start his upgrades pretty soon here. He goes ahead and gets that +1 carapace. Doesn't have enough gas quite yet to get the +1 melee attack, though. Now we have a couple of Hellions moving over here towards the natural. They're going to see that creep spread and back up, knowing that Jaedong will be prepared for whatever he tries to do.
So with Innovation finishing up the third command center, double engineering bay down, he's just going to try to mass out the bio, the Widow Mines, and slowly push out on the map around the 11-minute mark that we always see from the Terran players.
I was actually worried there for a second. Innovation looked like he had an open invitation in the Jaedong's natural there, but the Zerglings ran out. They were ready for that attack if it came. But there's no defense at this third over here, so Innovation could potentially do some damage there. And you know, he mentioned, I remember, in his interview after WCS, he has worked a lot on his Hellion control against the Zerglings, and he feels like, hey, I'm not worried about that kind of thing.
Also, this is slightly different than the regular Hellion harassment that we see from Terran players, because usually they stick on 4, maybe get up to 6, and only deny the creep by Innovation. Just because he has 6 and Jaedong doesn't have static defense or at the third base, he could utilize it to the fullest potential. So let's see how great his micro is today with those Hellions before they get taken out.
Well, they're not really doing too much at this point, unfortunately.
I'm disappointed.
They're just driving around. They're cruising. If I was a Hellion, I just want to cruise around the entire map, the entire game. I don't want to get in a fight and die.
And also get into the medevac at the last second and lift out of there.
Yeah. Third base has been secured by Innovation here. We got a Spire follow-up for Jaedong. His 1-1 about the finish. Innovation, though, he is well on his way for 1-1. And the Zerglings, they want to do a run-by. Ain't going to happen, though.
Yeah, but Jaedong, of course, he is maxed out in the saturation on 3 bases right now, 71 drones, so I would like to see him actually make a lot of Zerglings and go for a bust at the third base or at the natural before the Widow Mine starts stacking up. That deals a nice economic damage to the Terran players, and it actually puts Zerg a little bit ahead in the game such that they could defend against all the medevac drops and the pushes coming from our Terran player Innovation. So that's what Jaedong needs to do. Apply some early pressure. Make sure he needs to spend on the minerals on the SCVs instead of pure bio / Widow Mine units.
It's going to be hard to attack in the Innovation here, though. He is looking quite well prepared for anything that could come his way here. Jaedong's creep spread is looking fantastic this game, though. It's 11 minutes in the game, and he's already covered his side of the map there. His +2 attack not starting yet. I think that may be a bit of a mistake from Jaedong here. He is grabbing the +2 carapace, grabbing the +1 flyer attack, and also going to go ahead and get the centrifugal hooks upgrade. Oh, looks like a few of these Hellions will potentially get surrounded here, getting taken out. The Zerglings run away. Nice little pick off there by Jaedong.
Yes, indeed, and look at this Innovation. He's well aware of all those timings that the Zerg players are going for these days, so he's trying to fortify himself even more. I mean, against Soki, he built the bunker, he built some supply depots, that wasn't enough. So I'm going to build a second bunker outside of my natural, get more supply depots down, get the Widow Mine down earlier, and start flashing the screen.
I'm having a seizure, S&M, save me.
Is this a new mine video?
It's the new mine video. By the way, if anyone out there you know watches SPL and has seizures, tell them to not watch the mine video.
And the Banelings!
Hold that thought, we have an engagement going on here. The Banelings, they get some okay connections here, but the Zerglings are taken out. Innovation, looks like he's been able to win that battle. I don't know, it looks like he was able to save a lot of his Widow Mines as well there. Meter count starting to rise up here, not seeing anything out of them quite yet though. Would like to see some good harassment from Jaedong on that end. And this Queen's going to get taken out. Will not be able to be spread creep in the future.
Definitely, and remember, the Widow Mines are over there, but he doesn't have that many Marines over there, so Innovation needs to be careful on how he engages the army, and that's a lot of Zerglings coming in!
Innovation potentially getting over-eager here. The Zergling's going to move in there now. Nice, uses the Overseer as bait, but the reinforcements from Innovation, they're going to force away Jaedong. Nice snipe, though, killing off one of those medevacs before the end there. That drone over there, 1 health Innovation feeling like a merciful god here. He's not going to let that drone get killed off. But that drone needs to get out of there, man.
He needs to get out of there and turn himself into a hatchery or something like that at this point. Now, Jaedong had a nice engagement, but he did not see the one extra Widow Mine in the back, and that dealt a huge damage to all the Zerglings that were clumped up. Innovation behind this is taking a Fort Command Center, and he's free to do so at this point. He just won an engagement. He still has a nice army. The Widow Mines are still alive and well, and all he has to do is slowly push out while securing the fort base.
All right, we have the 2-2 completed for Innovation. He's starting his +3 attack. We have the Banelings splitting up here. Nice splits, but the Widow Mines, man, they're just taking out so much here. Muta is forced to move back here at this point, and Innovation, if he takes the high ground, it's going to be even harder for Jaedong to deal with. Moving forth again, sending wave after wave of units there. Unfortunately, sorry guys, still having a lot of issues with the graphics today, but we're back here, and the Banelings were taken out. The Muta count getting a little bit low here. I think Jaedong has enough to defend, though.
Remember, those Marines dying is rated R, so we can't show everything on the screen, but this is a nice Baneling connection by Jaedong.
He's able to kill off most of Innovation's units here. He's going to need those reinforcements in order to deal with these units here. He's completing that fourth base, like you mentioned here. Jaedong, though, still only on 2-1 right now for his melee units, while Innovation's got that 2-2.
He forgot about the upgrade earlier on, and this is biting him in the butt right now. Only starting +2 right now with +3 carapace. Infestors are out on the way. But look at this, finally going for the drop play. I was saying, where are the medevacs going for the drops?
Well, here they are. Innovation applying pressure. At the same time, he is dropping in the main base. It's going to be hard for Jaedong to deal with both of these things at once.
And it's also hard for Zerg players to look at the massacre inside the main base.
All right, well, the Marine splits have been just absolutely amazing. Oh no, the Spire gets taken out here. Not the best thing for Jaedong there. He does get a few good Baneling connections, but I feel like the cracks in Jaedong's defense, they're starting to crack here. Nice liftoff from Innovation, realizing that he can't deal with all those Banelings at once. The Zergling reinforcements are going to force these medevacs to get out of there, but Jaedong, in his main base, he's got no solution for this medevac, for those Marines, and that Widow Mine.
The biggest problem is he's down to 7 gases. He's getting an Ultra Den, but he doesn't have minerals to actually get the Ultras out. And with this fourth base being taken out, Jaedong, he has attack. He arrived there. Only a few steps away from getting those units out, but he can't at this point.
Yeah, so it looks like Jaedong's defenses, they're starting to crumble here. Innovation, he is a cold-blooded killer. Doesn't care what's going on. He will just attack you until you are dead. Wave after wave of units keep coming in here. And it looks like we have one Infestor basically left for Jaedong here. GG is called. Innovation taking down his next victim. This time around it's Jaedong, and Jaedong just kind of feeling defeated there. I mean, he played solid, but Innovation is just... he's just on another level, man. He's on another level.
And with the score is 3-0 for STXO and EGTO. Well, they have to go for the reverse all kill if they want to win today.
But I mean, at this rate, Innovation, he is looking so solid right now, so strong. I can't see anybody left on the EGTL lineup actually being able to take him out in a one-on-one game.
Yeah, well, Innovation did mention that he doesn't like to play TVTs that much.
If I remember
correctly.
That didn't stop him from beating Flash, man.